Hey folks, we are back with the final part of my 5-hour stream where, NES Mini stream. I've just been beaten at Super C and now we're moving on to the Holy Trilogy. Super Mario Brothers 1, 2 and 3, followed by Tecmo Bowl and both Zelda games, and then we are done. Glorious times. So 1 hour left. Hopefully you're still enjoying it. Thanks for sticking with me so far and for joining me at different points. But yep, 1 hour to go, and here it is, the greatest game ever made and still my favourite game ever, Super Mario Brothers. This is obviously Sod's Law. This is where I'm now going to die quite early and look like an idiot, even though I've played this game a million times. But such is life. Still maintain this is the best game ever. This is still my favourite game. Everything about it is perfect. Almost as good. Go for the world record. I used to, back in the day, I used to try and speedrun it, but that was a long time ago. I've forgotten all the tricks and all the time and stuff. I can still do wee bits and pieces, but no, definitely not. Essentially, I get to World 8 with very little ease. With relative ease, and then when I get to World 8, it all kind of falls apart. 8-3 is the one that always used to kill me because of the Hammer Brothers. To this day, they still really annoy me. Like, I can usually do this one without stopping and stuff like that, but yeah, 8-3 always just throws me off. Yeah, it's a classic, an absolute classic. Sometimes try and hit that beanstalk quickly to make it appear quicker, but I missed it. McGinty, I'm assuming you're asking what the fastest time I've finished Mario 3 is. To be honest, I don't know, because when the time I get to World 8, it just all falls apart again in Mario 3 as well. I seem to have a thing for Mario 8s that I don't like, for level 8s. Yeah, there was a period for like years that I played Super Mario Bros. Every single day. Yeah, when it came out on a Virtual Console, I finally put my NES away and started playing that version every day. When it came out on 3DS Virtual Console, I played that every morning on the way to work. So yeah, there was a period for a few years where I played this every single day and still die in World 8. Something about this world that kind of just... it all just falls apart. I don't know why. 8-2 sometimes, but you always 8-3. I mean, I could spend more time and get to it with a fire flower. That's the way to do it, but something... I think the sadist in me likes doing it with Small Mario instead. And racing bullet bills as well. Here we go, this is where I'm going to lose all my lives. Because of the bloody Hammer Brothers. It's not so much these ones, although they're a bit annoying, it's the ones, there's ones later on which are just standing there without a wall, and I can never time their jump to run under them. Although these bits are tricky as well. Oh, see, there. And you can't kick the Koopa shell through them either, I don't think. I'm pretty sure it goes right through them. If Super Mario Bros. Didn't exist, would it be into gaming? I have no idea, because I mean, I still would have been into gaming because my dad was into gaming before me, so he had a Spectrum before the NES existed, so there still would have been games in the house, but Super Mario Bros. Was the first one. I was at the age where I just first kind of was registering these things as well. Like I was like maybe 3.5, maybe just turned 4. So it was the first thing I saw. I was like, this is amazing. And yeah, ever since then. Oh, hold on. Oh my good God Almighty! Got so excited at finally beating the Hammer Brothers. Ah. Right, let's do the Minus World glitch so people can see it, and then we'll. And for the Minus World, you need to at least have a mushroom. What the bloody hell? So what was there? And it helps if you have a fire flower, though you don't need to. Oh, never mind, I'll get it in the next level. Right, here we go, Minus World. For those who don't know, Minus World's a glitch in World 1-2 where basically you go through the wall essentially because it's there's a warp zone obviously at the end of World 1-2 which most people know about, which sends you to World 2, 3 or 4, but if you can glitch the game so you can approach the warp zone before it loads properly. The game hasn't put the values for each pipe, hasn't loaded the values for each pipe yet, so it doesn't actually have any idea where you're going. So when you jump in the pipe, it hasn't loaded to say this is World 4, it just says what is going on, so it loads whatever's in its value, and what's in its value is basically something completely wrong, so you end up in a clone of a level later on in the game, and then when you finish that, it still has no idea what's going on. So if you break this brick and this brick, now the warp zone's through there, you can just about see it, and you're supposed to go over the top, and that gives the game time to kind of register it. But if you do this, the warp zone hasn't loaded yet, so when you go in, it goes, okay, world -1. So now you've got world -1, which, like I say, is actually a later level in the game. But again, when you get to the end, at this point, the kind of level counter in the game is totally on its arse. So when I try to get to, so assuming I do and don't die, that'd be annoying. Come on, over you come. Hate this bit. Yeah, so when you finish this level, yet again it has no idea what it's doing. So all it does is start again at world -1. And that is the Minus World, and we're overdue, so we're now going to quit Super Mario Bros., the greatest game of all time, and move to Super Mario Bros. 2, the underrated Super Mario Bros. 2. First game we could play as Peach, first game we could play as Toad. Lovely. I'm going to go the big man. schoolboy error. This is the first game where all the kind of characters have different abilities, so Luigi can jump higher, but he takes ages at picking things up, which is why I get caught there, because I usually start as Mario, but instead I decide to start as Luigi. But it's okay, because I'm about to get a mushroom here if I don't die. Unless something amazing happens, Super Mario Bros. Probably will always be my favourite game ever. Galaxy came very close. Galaxy is my favourite modern game, but just more on a personal level, Mario will always... First Super Mario Bros. Will always be my favourite, just more for what it means as well as what it is, but what it is amazing as well. I even prefer it to like Mario 3 and Mario World. I think it just feels better, it's got a better weight to it. The jumping mechanics feel slightly heavier, less floaty. Not that, I mean, it's not like I'm trying to criticise the others, they're still two of the best platformer games ever made, it's just, I don't know. You never forget your first, I suppose they say. I always time these bombs wrong. Oh, but not this time. Yeah, exactly, it's what you grew up with. I think it's one of the reasons I love Mario 2 as well, even though a lot of people have kind of shunned it. Here we go, first ever appearance by Birdo. Obviously, as most people know, this wasn't a Mario game originally. It was Doki Doki Panic, a Japanese game for the Famicom Disk System. And when Nintendo decided that the real Mario 2, which was Lost Levels, was too difficult, they thought, let's just take Doki Doki Panic and stick Mario on that instead. So that's why it's got a kind of Arabian Nights theme to it, because it is in like an Arabian Nights Persian themed game. There's a cheeky wee trick here. If I take him, skip these guys, I can skip almost the entire level if I'm quick. If I jump just before this disappears. There we go. And a whole massive chunk of that level's just been skipped. Yeah, Mario Deluxe was excellent. Let's go Mario just to mix things up a bit. So yeah, Mario can't jump as high as Luigi, but he picks things up slightly quicker. He's a kind of average character. Oh, I messed that up. I'm going to deliberately kill myself. There's a warp here, where you need to kind of basically keep this for the whole level. I made it more difficult by not holding down the run button when I picked it up. I can't sprint. Basically take this all the way, ignore the temptation to drop it early and get coins for the plants, take it all the way to the end. Past here and drop it here, and that's you in World 4. I hated this one. I absolutely hated this bit. This is so slight. It's the slipperiest ice world ever. Peach takes an eternity to pick things up, but she can float. That's her other kind of gimmick. Ah. Oh. Ah. There's always going to be awkward bits in this game, but ah well. I'm going to die here, I can feel it. You get a heart for killing so many enemies, but ah, it's really awkward. Ah, there we go. There it is as well. That was the heart I was looking for. Right, okay, let's just do it this time without needing the heart. So the thing, oh Jesus. Much as I enjoyed Mario 2, it was really floaty. Not just because Peach is floating, the jumping controls were kind of awkward. It had a different feel to the others. So especially when you go from playing 1 straight to playing 2, it feels very different. And when I go to playing 3 as well, I'll probably mess up the start of 3 as well. Because I did that last night. I was playing 1 for ages, moved straight to 3 and was absolutely terrible at it because each one of them feels very slightly different. And when you adapt to 1, you get yourself back in the mindset of 1. Ah, oh, Jesus. And then the other one kind of throws you off. Right, let's just rush this. No messing about. Should have done this in the first place. Oh, maybe not that though. Instead of all this tomfoolery. Oh, she can't jump either. Doodly 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 doo doo. There you go. I'll continue there because someone who can actually jump. Yeah, it's crazy how like this wasn't a canon game, and even you wonder why Japan were happy to incorporate a lot of it because like you say that this wasn't originally a Mario game, but what happened was obviously in Japan they saw how successful this was in America and the West, so they released it as Super Mario USA and decided to make it canon. So you've got Shy Guys and Birdo and stuff like that all became part of the Mario lore, even though they originally weren't. So Birdo was originally a Doki Doki character, as were the Shy Guys, and yeah, they were then moved over to this. There we go. Pro jumping by the man Luigi. First time. Well, that's the end of Super Mario 2. I think I was just coming up for the warp as well. Stuff like, let's go try and get the warp. I'm pretty sure it's here. Actually, it might not be for a while. Let's try. I'll keep it going for a wee bit longer. We'll not stop it bang on 3 if unless I die here, and we'll just move on. Yeah, let's just move on to the next game. At some point I'll do a proper stream of Mario 2. I like Mario 2. Mario 3 though, that's the beast. Now like I say, I might be really bad at this for a second because I'm just finished playing 1 and 2 and the jumping feels different in each of them, so I always have that slight adjustment period where I look like an idiot for 2 seconds, so if I die pretty quickly here, do not insult me because it takes a wee second. One thing I will say for the NES Mini, the controls are really receptive because it's wired and not wireless. The response, there's like no lag whatsoever, which is brilliant, which is what you need in games like this. Obviously it depends on your TV as well. If your TV's got input lag, then there will be lag, but no worse than you have in your other consoles. Oh, schoolboy error. Stuff it. Mario 3 is just Still an incredible game though, it has to be said. Saying it has to be said as if it was a secret. Now there's a wee trick here to try and get infinite lives, but it hurts your hand. Not infinite lives, but a lot of lives basically. And so on and so forth, you get the point. You can do it for a long time basically, but I'll just leave it. So paramedic. Right, let's get the both the warp whistles and try and get to World 8 within 10 minutes. It's pretty easy to do, to be fair. This is where your first warp whistle is. These are secrets that pretty much everyone knows, but just in case. I saw a website last year going on about how if you hold A and press start in Super Mario Bros, you continue. You start again at the world you died at, and people were saying it was blowing their mind, so you can't really take for granted any secrets that you think everyone knows. Even though the warp whistles are pretty much well known, there'll be some people still who don't know them. Right, so you go back and you find the white block. Here it is. And you just duck down. Job done. Don't get hit. Yeah, there's another warp whistle in World 2, but you only really need 2 to get to World 8. You can afford to miss one and you're right, go on to World 2 and get the one at the right hand side. Let's do this just for a bit of fun. Yeah, it's good. They're like extremely accurate versions. They're all kind of yeah, it's stuff like that. Like there's no enhancements to be made other than obviously it looks HD now. Stuff like, yeah, like you say, the music, the fact that they only had so many sound channels, so when there was a sound effect, I've messed that up. Can't get that whistle now. That whistle now anyway. Without the leaf. Indeed. Yeah, it couldn't process so many sound effects, so when you clicked the sound effect, it had to go, oh, sorry. I messed it up. By collecting the fire flower, I can't get the whistle because you need the leaf. My favourite game in this NES Mini is definitely the first Super Mario Bros, but that's my own personal favourite. I think most people will generally say it's this one. Oh, the leaf's here, that's right. I was wondering why. There we go. Yeah, favourite game is Mario 1, but most people will say this one, so fair play to them. So blow one whistle. And then blow the next whistle. And there you go, World 8. From World 1 to World 8. Yep, Kid Icarus is on it. This is obscenely difficult though. This is just me showing off. Like I would rather play the game normally, because when I get to World 8 I get annoyed with it. I don't know. I can understand speedrunners doing this, but I have more fun in the other worlds that aren't World 8. Yeah, I played Mario Maker. It's very entertaining. I've not played the 3DS one though, obviously. I'm not smart enough to create levels on it though. I don't have that kind of creativity. Well, I mean, you say Nintendo should have expected this, but it's a kind of weird, kind of retro thing. There was no way of telling how well it would do. It's a frustrating thing, but it makes sense that they would do it and see how well it sells before. Because the worst thing, you want to make 4 million of the things and only 200 sell, and then you're stuck with all these things you've spent a lot of money making and won't shift. I think they've done the right thing. It's frustrating. Like they did it with the Amiibos as well, and they did it with the Wii. It's frustrating, but it kind of makes sense that they have to do it to see if it's going to sell first. I'm going to die here. It's always Sod's Law. Luckily I've only got 2 minutes left anyway, so if I do, I won't look too bad. Yeah, because I'm not going to beat this guy with no... Oh, it's just a boomerang, brother. We're okay. We're okay. Remember, this is... Yeah, it doesn't get me anywhere, I forgot. Dope. Yeah, they have to be. I mean, I'm sure... A lot of people say that Nintendo do this fake manufacture fake demand, but I really don't think so. I mean, if they knew it was going to sell a load, obviously they're going to make a load and so they could make more money, because all people talk about every 3 months is how Nintendo makes a loss, even though sometimes they make a profit. Oh, I missed that cannonball to jump on. They would obviously sell it if they could, because they want to make money. That's kind of how it works. So it's frustrating, definitely, that it's sold out, but you better believe they're making a ton of them just now and trying to get them out in time for Christmas, because I genuinely think it's going to be a massive, like, #1 Christmas toy, not just in terms of games, but, like, you know, every year there's a big Christmas toy that kids are into. I wouldn't be surprised if it was this. Certainly the big Christmas gadget, I think, is this, either this or PlayStation VR, but this is affordable, you know, this is like a stocking filler if you would get a partner or something like that. Like if you had a girlfriend or a boyfriend who was into games, and you knew they were like a long time gamer and the sort of person who has like Mario t-shirts and stuff like that, this is 100% what you would get them. But yeah, do not buy one on eBay or anything, just wait, buy it for 50 quid like it's supposed to be. Until then, that is arrivederci to Mario 3, a classic. Now, Tecmo Bowl, I know a lot of people are probably going to drop off now, but bear with me. I know American football isn't the most popular sport in Europe, but I enjoy it. And this is a lot of people, gotta go Cleveland, gotta go my team, even though I'm not very good, even though they're not very good in this game. Yeah, this was like an enormous game in America. Obviously not so much here, I'm not even sure it was released here, but in America they love them some Tecmo Bowl. So yeah, you've got run plays and pass plays, so let's go with a run. There's some people who are like absolute experts at it. I'm not that much of an expert. Likewise, Exhibit A, the boss has been telling. I apologise if some people don't know the rules of American football or whatever, but yeah, basically, long story short, you're... Oh, I made a backside of that. Yeah, it's a American football game, basically. You get 4 downs to run 10 yards and keep doing it until you get to the end. You say they should have made more, it shouldn't require much materials. It's not a case of that, though. It's like, it depends on how much... It's not just how many materials they have, it's how to make it. It's how much it costs to make it. It's not how to make the thing. It doesn't require much materials, but it still requires money to make. Do you know what I mean? So it's not a case that they should have made more. Like if they would have made more and they didn't sell, then they would have still lost money. I'm terrible at Tech Mobile. Specifically Cleveland are terrible at Tech Mobile. This is going to be a whitewash. There was Tecmo Super Bowl on the SNES, which was the kind of more widely loved American football game, but this one's obviously still loved too. Right, give me my ball back. Here we go, let's do this. I haven't, to be honest, Harry, I've never really got into board games. I'm sure I'd love them if I got into them, but I never have. Pal Rab got me one once, which I've yet to play, but I just need a situation where there's enough people in the house to play it, to be honest. I'm not against the idea of it, I think I'd like them. Yeah, but I mean, there's a world of difference between an iPod and with an iPhone and something like this, which is a fairly niche product. Apple know that the thing with the iPhone, they made as many as they could because they knew they were going to sell out anyway. So that's just a case of actual manpower and being able to make as many as they could. This is a different situation. This is them trying to gauge interest in it because there's no way of telling yet. Oh, I just intercepted it again. I'm terrible at this. It's been decades since I've played this, so that's my excuse. I feel bad for anyone who's literally just joined the stream and thinks I'm terrible at games. Well, I feel bad for me, specifically. Hopefully people were watching me be good at Mario. Oh. Oh my god, that's only 5 minutes. We've only done 4 minutes and I'm already, what, 13 down, about to be 14 down. I love the crowd though. Right, here we go, let's do it. That's what you get when you play as one of the worst teams in the game though, to be fair. That's the first quarter done. Yeah, let's do it, run play. Right through the middle. There he goes, there he goes. That's a first down, son. Through the middle again, this boy's dynamite. Oh, it's so close. The problem is they learn what plays you're going to do. I had a field goal, but I'm miles away. I'm not going to get it, but let's just do it anyway. Nah. Boo. Oh, what? On you go, mate. Have fun. Jesus. This is a rare. one of the old games that I'm absolutely useless at. In fairness to it, it's got some. It's impressive the fact that it has digitized speech, which for an NES was no mean feat. I'm getting absolutely horsed here. Here it is. I'm confident now. There he goes. Look at that for a run, that's incredible. No, board games are still games, it counts. Ah! Let's try a pass again and hopefully this time it'll work. No, every time, every time. Right, let's stop this early and move on to Zelda because I appreciate there's not most people watching this are British and not a lot of them are really into American football. So let's give a couple of extra minutes to Zelda because obviously Zelda's a bigger draw. Here it is, 1986, 30 years ago. There's your wee story. Personally, I don't know, it's not the popular suggestion. I prefer Zelda 2. I'm not really going to be able to convince you in this for people who aren't convinced because it takes a while to get into Zelda 2 before it all starts to get really good. The first kind of half an hour of Zelda 2 is really difficult and fiddly looking, but once you get powerful enough, Zelda 2 is amazing. Idiot. Obviously Zelda 1's brilliant as well, that kind of goes without saying. Every time I play it though I forget where to go because I'm just an absolute idiot. I'm pretty sure I'm going the right way though. I miss him being able to throw his sword at people. I'm going totally the wrong way here, aren't I? I know it. Yeah, that's the thing about Zelda 2, it's obscenely difficult. It is excellent, but it is really difficult until much later in the game. I'm going to die here unless I can get some hearts. That's the thing, Zelda 1's pretty punishing as well, to be fair, like until you get more hearts. A lot of Zelda games start difficult and get a wee bit easier as you get more hearts. It's a bit strange. No cash, mate. I've gone totally the wrong direction. There's a dungeon away down elsewhere which I'm nowhere near here. This looks promising though. Jesus. No, that was the wrong move. The wrong move. After me saying it looked promising. Give me a heart. I don't know if it'd be considered a spoiler, but I think you'll be alright. This is the same bit, isn't it? This is where I already went in. Sake. Yeah, you're not going to see the ending here, definitely not. I can't even find the bloody dungeon. I've totally went the wrong way, like an idiot. There we go, did. Right, let's actually do it this time. I'll have this wee tune. Watch it. Yeah, it is. I know it's up in that direction. I just can't remember where. It's been too long. No, it's up near some water, I know that much. Certainly this season, the chances of you getting an NES Mini are slimmer than that. Because they ain't doing it. The problem is I get involved in the fights and I probably should just dodge guys. Yeah, it's up and to the right. I'm gonna die again. It's not a case of it being hard, it's just, Jesus, well yeah, and sometimes it is, as you can see. Again, it goes back to what I was saying before, like old games were very difficult. Almost like just to enhance the lifespan. If Zelda was an easy game, people would have it finished within a couple of hours and that was it. It's not designed to be like a arcade type game where you just play the same 4 levels over and over again. It's maybe a massive quest, so they made it deliberately really difficult, so you got this massive sense of achievement. Oh, here we go. Yeah, exactly, it's not as forgiving. Like there's loads of, at any one level in this you could get trapped by enemies and just see your life just get totally sapped. Here we go, this is where I was trying to go. Wee brain fart there where I forgot what the first dungeon was. Oddly, the dungeons are a tiny wee bit easier than the overworld bits, I say as I take a hit. It's because it doesn't keep randomly spawning enemies. It's like, I guess it's the random spawning element that sometimes makes it more difficult, because you don't... Sometimes it spawns enemies in really unfair places, whereas the dungeons are more set. The enemy spawns are set, so they're more fair. You can't get unlucky in the dungeon with where the enemies appear. You can still be rubbish and take hits like I just did there, but yeah, you feel a bit more in control in the dungeon. I always love that secret, if you hit him, the flames start attacking you. It's kind of like when you hit the chicken in Ocarina and his pals attack you. There's your map, son. Now I can see where I'm going. Probably do another heart. Definitely, I could definitely do another heart. Ugh. No, it definitely wasn't worth losing my throwing sword ability. That's the one in it. Can I continue from here? We go. A few minutes left. Let's see if we can lick this dungeon. So the thing is, it's such a harsh thing. Is that you take a single hit and you'll become massively underpowered. Being able to throw the sword is an amazing ability, but you take a single hit and you lose it, and for the rest of the game until you get full health again, you're massively underpowered. It's a crazy way of doing it, but not crazy, but it's harsh. It's very harsh. As long as I keep my distance, I'm a beast. The clock's a lifesaver because it stops them in their tracks. Yeah, it's a nice wee touch. There's the compass, that's useful. Compass shows you where there's hidden objects. Oh, sorry, I think the compass shows you where the key is to get to the boss, that's it. So I want to go up and then right. I'm going to run out of time, I'm not going to get to the boss in time, but we'll try. Nearly there. Oh. Oh, there he is, the Bulgin. There you go, another heart. And there it is, the Triforce piece. Good way to end it, with my first Triforce piece, and now I've got bombs. Bosh! Who's messing? Oof. There we go, Zelda. A lovely game, a lovely game. And we finished our 5-hour stream with Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. Massively underrated game. A lot of people hate it because it's very different from other Zeldas, but it's the only Zelda that's an actual... It's RPG style in that your character develops and levels up and gets stronger as he goes along. I really like it. It's like I say, a lot of people don't, but it's very much an acquired taste. It's really difficult for the first half an hour or so, so I'm probably going to die here actually, because again, like in Zelda, you've got hardly any life. So you start with Zelda's asleep in her castle because of some nefarious hijinks, my Ganon, so I've got to go out and smack up. So yeah, it's proper like RPG stuff here. So as long as you stay on the path, you're safe. But as soon as you wander off the path, baddies. So it's kind of like an RPG in that sense, where like random attacks appear, but they're done like side-scrolling stuff here. And every time you kill a baddie, well, an enemy I suppose I should say, like an adult, every time you kill an enemy, you get experience points, like an RPG. So you can see up the top there it says 4 out of 50. I've got 4 experience points, I need 50 to level up. I'll see you later much. I'm just finishing the enemy, so you're not going to miss much. But again, like in Zelda 1, as soon as you take a hit, you lose your... There you go, I've got a load of experience points there. So you can choose what to do, or you can save your points, but I'm going to put my life up just because I'm an idiot. There you go, so we got extra life now. So yeah, you can save your experience. The next experience points is 100. You can spend them to power up or defend or get more defense or whatever. So there's loads of kind of... So yeah, it's an RPG mixed with a Zelda action game, and I love it. And eventually you get different magic spells that you can use and stuff like that. And here's a village. Hello! Oh, you can't go in all of them, I forgot. Parappa the Rappa, more like. Oh, here he is, the big man. Story of my life, mate. So she can heal you if you're wounded. You follow her home. I can only imagine this is all above board, and she's just giving me a potion or something. Like, I couldn't possibly imagine anything dodgy going on. There's Woody Allen. This wee pipsqueak. Yeah, so basically they're giving you clues what to do. There's a cave later on in the game which you can't basically see. I need a hammer to break that. There's a cave over here which I can't really see inside because I don't have a candle. You can still kind of get through it, but it's really dark and therefore difficult. Another cave here, which again I believe is very dark. Yeah, you can't really see. There are enemies, you can just about make out shadows on the bottom left there of a bat. So you could try and kind of slowly fumble your way through it, but you'll take a load of damage on the way. So you kind of best waiting and getting the candle. Let's level up here. Oh, these stupid wee fireball things. Cheers, we're going to see you later, mate. This is Parappa. That's Ruto. There's another cave, but it's quite a short one, so let's try and fumble through it. So you can just about make out. Luckily my sword... Nah, there's not a chance. Not happening. And now I'm nearly dead. I go back to that town and try and get healed. So like I say, it's difficult to kind of sell Zelda to based on a 10-minute stream because it takes a while to properly get going. Here we go, get me healed. Oop. I've already been, mate. Oh yeah, she restores your magic, that's right. But I don't have any magic yet. Is this the man? There he is, I am Error. There's loads of kind of theories about this guy. Some people thought this was a genuine error in the game and that his name wasn't loading properly. And that was one theory, was that, yeah, his name, it should actually be I am John or whatever, and there was an error in the game and that's the error message. And then someone said maybe it was like, it should be I am Errol, like Errol Flynn, because he looks like Errol Flynn. And because the Japanese language doesn't have any L's in it, maybe that was a mistranslation. But the real truth is, Error's just an in-joke. His name is Error, and because he's got a brother elsewhere in the game called Bagu, which is a bad translation of Bug. So there's a guy called Error and a guy called Bug, and they're brothers, essentially, and that's the joke. But yeah. So yeah, it's a slow burner, this one. It takes a while before there's any real action. So I think that's another reason why people are kind of meh about it, because it takes a while to actually properly get going. I mean, this is action obviously, but a different type. Oh, getting my arse kicked. I might actually deliberately die before it ends because there's a really kind of somber ending where everything goes dark. And it's like the ultimate failure. I like how his shield deflects things as well. Now I can go bump, bump. Let's try this cave. I'm going to die here as well, but stuff it. We're nearly done. You can just about, if you look really carefully when you're going through it, you can see shadows on the bottom of the ground where characters' feet are. There's one there. You can just about make the shadow out. There we go, we're done. Because it gets quite tricky. Let's see what's up here and then we'll call it a day. This isn't one of the palaces. Yeah, this is your first palace. It's kind of like the dungeons basically. Did it introduce any? I'm not sure, to be honest. I know there's a hell of a lot Zelda to introduce, because you can see a lot of the kind of stuff it introduced was kind of quickly forgotten. But let me die, we'll end it with a death so you can see the kind of tragic death animation. It just goes all dark and it's just like, it makes you feel terrible about your life. Look at that. Deed. But yeah, there we go. That was the NES Mini. 5 hours of the NES Mini. 30 lovely wee games. And if you leave it, I'll do a wee chat while I leave it. It brings up a cool wee screensaver as well, which is quite funny to watch. But yeah, I really like it. For 50 quid, there's a lot of good games in there. You've got all the Marios, both the NES Zeldas, some kind of interesting stuff. The first Castlevania, which is excellent. You've got Bubble Bobble, which is always fun. Excitebike, which is not an awful game as some have claimed. Ninja Gaiden's really good but quite tricky. You've got Mega Man 2, which is the best Mega Man game. There's loads of stuff on there. You've got Super C, the second Contra, which is excellent. Loads of high quality kind of retro games which still kind of hold up. Star Tropics gets really good later on when you get into it. You've got stuff like Kid Icarus and Metroid. Yeah, it's all kind of... So that was my phone ringing there. All excellent stuff, and yeah, very much. Here's your wee screensaver that turns up. Oh. It's basically every time you they hit the block, a different sprite appears, which is quite funny. But yeah, so that's it. So hope you enjoyed it. Cheers, Purple Chimp. Hopefully the film night does go well. But yeah, thanks for watching the stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informative and entertaining in equal measure. And yeah, hopefully there'll be more streams in the near future. Until then, I will get replays of this up in the next couple of days on the site, so if you missed any bits you can catch up. Otherwise, yeah, we're all done. That was the NES Mini. Hopefully those who want one and don't have one can get hold of one quite soon. Don't go on eBay and buy it and spend stupid money on it. Wait, there will be more before Christmas. There's a full month and a half to go. It happened with Amiibos, it'll happen with this. Subscribe to the official Nintendo UK store. They'll send you newsletters when they come back in stock. So do that instead. Just be patient and you'll get it eventually. Don't give idiots a lot of money for them. Just be patient. But yeah, cheers guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you around some other time. Do the whole like and subscribe stuff. You know how it works. I'm not going to tell you. You know it. Alright, cheers. Thanks. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.